Hey guys, and welcome back to my channel. This tutorial is going to be on the exact same look from my holiday lipstick swatch video. So if you haven't seen that guy yet, definitely go and check it out, especially if you want a variety of other lipstick options to go with this look. This is a holiday inspired look. Nothing says holiday makeup like a winged liner and a bold lip. And of course, a little bit of glitter. I knew that for this look I wanted to use glitter, but not in a very dramatic way. I wanted it to be a little more subtle, more discreet, in order to make it a little more wearable. If you're going to like your company's holiday party, or you want to wear it to school or whatnot, it's definitely a very wearable holiday look. So if you're interested and want to see how I created it, keep on watching. Because I am going to be working with glitter, I don't want it to end up all over my face, so I'm going to start with the eyes first. In case I do have glitter fallout, I can pick it up later. And I'm going to start by filling in my brows. So I'm going to apply a little bit of foundation to the area around my brows and set with powder to give a cleaner application. And I'm going to be filling in my brows using the Anastasia Brow Powder Duo in Chocolate and a Delium 735 brush. To prep my eyes for a shadow, I'm using the Laura Mercier Eye Basics Shadow Primer in the shade Cotton. And I'm just going to apply a few dots and then blend it out with my fingertip. And then again, using that Smith 112 brush and the MAC Mineralize Skin Finish, I'm going to really pack on some powder. This step is more important than it usually is because this powder is actually going to act as the shadow on the lid versus going in with a lighter shadow, because the look is so simple, it really doesn't require much. Keep in mind that a translucent powder wouldn't work for this step because this powder does add a little bit of color, so it almost works like an eyeshadow. So if you don't have this powder, use a bone colored eyeshadow instead. Next, I'm going to be using a Smith 232 brush to apply the shadow Fawn from Anastasia to the crease. And believe it or not, this is the only... I always drop my eyeshadows, I can't help it. But what I was trying to say is, believe it or not, this is the only eyeshadow that I'm going to be using for this look. Super simple. And then I'm just going to use a Sigma E40 brush to further soften out the edges of this eyeshadow. Next comes the really fun part, the glitter. I'm going to be using the Makeup Forever Diamond Powder in shade number 2, I believe it is. Either 1 or 2, I'll confirm in the description box because I bought a silver and a gold one, but I'm pretty sure the gold one is number 2. But I'll double check. And I'm going to be applying the glitter by using Makeup Forever's Mist and Fix. Don't try this with Fix Plus from MAC. It might work, but Fix Plus is more of a hydrating spray. It's not really a setting spray. A lot of people get that spray confused for a setting spray. Fix Plus is mostly meant to hydrate and it'll tone down the look of powder, but it's not going to actually prolong the wear of your makeup. So definitely keep that in mind. Mist and Fix is more so a setting spray. So if you tried to use Mist and Fix the way you use Fix Plus, like wetting your beauty blender or trying to hydrate, this is not gonna work. This is mostly to set makeup and prolong the wear of your makeup. So what I'm gonna do is spray a little bit of Mist and Fix to my fingertip, pick up the glitter, and then start just applying it really lightly onto the lid and then up towards that brown shadow. And I'll tap a little bit off on my hand before going directly into the eyes so that when I first place the glitter, it's not too chunky in that one spot. If you do happen to get some glitter on your skin, just take a little piece of Scotch tape and roll it around your finger like this. And then just tap it on your skin wherever that glitter is and it'll pick it up. And now I'm just going to be adding a winged liner to finish this look. I'm going to be using ColourPop's gel liner in Swerve, which is black, and my favorite angled eyeliner brush. I finally made the purchase. It took me forever because I kept staring at it and I was like, you have so many angled liner brushes, do you really need it? But honestly, a winged liner has never been easier with this brush and crisper. And the brush I'm talking about is the NARS number 47 brush. I don't know, this brush tends to stay really flat and really stiff. So creating a winged liner with this guy is super easy. It is a splurge, but if you struggle with your winged liner, it's definitely worth it. To really complete the look of the winged liner, I'm going to be filling in my upper waterline with a black gel liner, aka tight lining. It just fills in that gap between your waterline and the lashes so that the winged liner looks a little more bold, a little more filled in versus having that space. And I'm going to be using the Eyeko Making Eyes gel liner in pitch black. I'm going to be applying a light coat of Benefit's Roller Lash Mascara and then popping on a pair of false lashes. I got carried away and started applying mascara to my lower lash line when I'm not done with the lower lash line because I was still going to add shadow to the lower part. So if I were you, I would skip adding mascara to the lower lash lines at this point. I just got carried away. I'm going to finish putting mascara on the other side anyway, and then I'm going to use a really small brush to add the shadow to my lower lash line later. So don't get carried away, take your time. I don't know why I did that. My bad. The lashes I'm going to be applying are the Flutter Lashes, and I finally figured out the style. They are the dimensional lashes in Paris. I did some extreme research to find out which ones these are because they're my favorite, and the box, if you throw away the sleeve, that's the part that has a name on it, and I threw that away and haven't been able to figure out the style, but I finally figured it out. So for those of you who have been asking, they are the Flutter Dimensional Lashes in Paris. Now I'm just going to go ahead and finish the rest of my complexion. I'm going to start by priming my skin using the Marc Jacobs Coconut Primer because I need that extra dose of hydration. I'm going to be using that same foundation I used in the very beginning, the Makeup Forever Ultra HD Foundation Stick. I absolutely love this foundation, and the only reason I really picked it up is because when I travel, I don't like to travel with a liquid foundation. I'm just always nervous that it's going to explode all over my stuff, or that it's gonna get taken away at security at the airport, or I don't know, it just is too much for me. I like traveling with something more solid, like a compact foundation or a stick foundation. So when I went into Makeup Forever to pick up the glitter, I saw these guys and I was like, oh, I really wanna try that because I really love the Ultra HD liquid foundation, so I thought I'd give it a shot, and I instantly fell in love with this foundation. The coverage is amazing, and it's much more of a dewy, hydrating finish compared to the liquid Ultra HD foundation. So if you're more towards the dry side, I think this guy's a little bit better. And also if you like more of that dewy, glowy finish, this is definitely gonna give you that look, and then the coverage is just phenomenal. Directly underneath my eyes, I'm gonna be using the NARS Radiant Creamy Concealer in the shade Honey, which is a little bit more pink to help correct any discoloration underneath my eyes. And then I'm gonna go in with Vanilla to highlight the rest of my skin. To set the concealer underneath my eyes and around my nose, I'm going to be using the MAC Mineralize Skin Finish Powder and a Morphe M441 brush to just really buff it into that area. And then using a Zoeva 106 powder brush, I'm just going to pat that powder onto the rest of my skin. To finish the eyes, all I'm going to do is apply that same soft brown shadow that's in the crease to the lower lash line, And I'm gonna be using a really small detailed brush because I already applied that mascara to my lower lashes. But this is also a really good tip for you guys who don't like to smoke out the lower lash line that intensely or struggle with applying shadow to that area. Use a smaller brush like the one I'm going to be using. This is the Morphe M213 brush, and use that to apply the shadow really close to the lash line versus completely smoking it out like I normally do. That wraps up the eyes. Now I'm just going to add some bronzer, blush, and highlight. I'm going to start by bronzing and contouring using the Makeup Forever Pro Bronze Fusion in the shade 20M and a Smith 118 brush. So I'm going to apply that to the hollows of my cheeks, temples, jawline, and a little down my neck. For the sides of the nose, I'm just switching over to a Smith 112 brush, and I'm just pinching it on the sides to apply the bronzer to that area. For a highlight, I'm using You Do You by OFRA Cosmetics, and I'm using that same Smith 112 brush to apply it to the high points of my face. And for blush, I'm using NARS Orgasm and that same Smith 118 brush to apply it to the apples of my cheek and then brush it back towards the hairline. Oh, and I almost forgot one more step, which I always tend to forget. I'm going to use the OFRA You Do You highlighter and a Smith 253 brush to apply it to the tear duct for a nice little highlight. Once I'm done applying my bronzer, blush, and highlight, if things aren't looking blended or they're looking a little too harsh, I just take a large fluffy brush. So again, I'm using the Zoeva 106 powder brush, and I just buff everything in. Really lightly though, don't really press it into the skin, just kind of glide right over and blend everything, and it'll make everything look a lot softer, especially like sometimes I put on a little too much highlight and it just looks too textured or glittery, and I'll just go over those areas to buff it in. I'm going to be applying Anastasia's clear brow gel to hold my brows in place, and whoa, my brow gel just fell apart. Oh my god, so sad. And for the lip, I'm going to be applying Dose of Colors Corset Liquid Lipstick from the Dare to Dazzle set. Alright guys, that completes this look. Let me know in the comment section below what sorts of holiday looks you'd like to see next, whether you want more glitter, less glitter, more vampy, more dramatic. You let me know and I will draw some inspiration from there and create a tutorial for it. If you guys liked this video, don't forget to give it a thumbs up, and don't forget to subscribe so I see you in the next one. Bye guys.